Okay. So Oracle BIE. So Oracle is used this as the next launching pad for its Fusion middleware. It has already bought Siebel, Hyperion, and it had its own Oracle data warehousing tools, which it has merged it into this Oracle BIE Plus application which they are offering. It's one of the very fastest growing BI vendor. They have a lot of revenue coming in, and it's comprehensive. It's providing the next generation things needed, and they are trying to do whatever the next generation is moving into it. Maybe it's integrating with SharePoint, with Microsoft plugin, with more of, more of the web 2.0 kind of scenario itself. So it's like allowing its people to collaborate, all those kind of features. It's moving with in where the industry is moving. There is a quotation right just below there. It points us to saying that this is one of the most exciting solutions available at present, and I think that's pretty true. So this particular slide, what we're talking about is the user community. How do they really interact with the application at a different level? So we have this business users which need information, either looking at it at different ways to be done that things. They may need some high level analysis with chat, or just signaling it's red or it's going in green, those kind of information. Or somebody might need the very day-to-day operational transactional information. So people could vary in different requirements. So that's first at the user community. Then we have this middle section, which is the business analysts and the operations. These people are the people who collaborate between the business users and the IT. In any new app implementation, usually what my observation is, and it's very true in most of the cases, like these people the analyst plays a role for the reporting, dashboard creation, all this. So they liaison with the business users, get their understanding, what they need, and make their own understanding into form of the dashboard which the users will need for them, rather than giving access to users to create their own reports and stuff. But as the application or the implementation matures, the user community matures more and more, you can bring in more super users into the applications, which could start preparing their own dashboards first, and then they can start publishing dashboards for other people and stuff like that. Slowly this should transition from the IT or the business analyst portion to the business users. I do not consider reporting as a primary goal of the IT team. Couple of reasons for that. First of all, it not only eats up the time of the IT people from their actual development and implementation for the other projects and stuff like that, it really creates a gap or slowdown thing. The business knows what they want. What best you could do is provide them whatever is needed, the capability. You provide them the metadata, the star schemas, the answering capabilities, the delivering capabilities, all those capabilities, and they can define, they can slice and dice whatever reports they want. They can organize it in the structure they want. So adding layers into it, like the BA, business analyst, the IT developers into it, really slows down. But I would not recommend it for day one. That's the model, but that's the goal of any implementation, I would perceive it. So we also touched what is the IT role. IT role is more like infrastructure provider. So they will give you the capabilities. They will do more of the security aspect, the performance tuning. All those kind of things is the IT role rather than doing the reporting. So this particular slide is just dividing user community and saying what's ideal implementation and how the roles should be divided. So as we touched a few terms, we'll keep doing this every slide or module which we're talking, because whatever terms we are going to use it, let's recap that once before actually going to use it further down in the further slides. So these terms we talked about is answers. It's the ad hoc capability for users to create their own reports, chats, graphs, and all different kind of things. There are different options. It's not limited to just chats and graphs. Then we have the dashboards. So once users have created their answers, the reports, charts, and everything, they want to organize it and publish it for themselves as well as the user community. So dashboards is the launching pad for that. Delivers is a scheduling mechanism which helps people to get, without logging into the application, they would like to get some reports, charts, stuff like that. iBot is just a means of doing that. So you create one iBot for one user, basically he'll get one report or one extract or whatever the information he needs. So delivers the functionality, you can create 100 reports, 100 iBots I mean. Subject areas is one particular section, an area where people are going to explore one particular kind of information. It is one, behind the scenes there is one star schema supporting that. So let's start with an example of subject area. We might have an opportunity subject area which will have in a central location all the statistics about opportunities, how many are open, how many are closed, how many got lost, how much was the revenue expected, how much was the actual revenue achieved, all those kind of statistics in the central fact, and you could have all kinds of dimensions. So opportunities, you might have a structure which is partners may be involved, you might have your own surface involved, you definitely will want to have some region-based statistics and time-based statistics. So this is an example of a full-fledged subject area, a star schema which is a subject area. So these are a few terms which we wanted to talk before we really go to the Oracle BI overview module. So we touched base this in the previous section also. Here we just wanted to recap it. These are the various offerings which Oracle provides. They are not limited to just their own things, but they are open to any kind of data sources. As they're pointing out, this gives the BI users a seamless experience so that they do not feel like they're logging into a transaction application and an analytics application. It's one together single application and it's truly integrated. So we're going to talk a little more about the dashboards. As you see the small iconic screenshot, it shows various graphs like the line graph, the bar graph. It's a powerful dynamic tool. Dynamic in the sense, if you have a line graph or a bar graph, for example, you could click on one of those graphs and you can go back to the details of that in a graphical format or a tabular format, or you can define your tables. So all that capability is available for users and it's published in a single powerful place. The next is Oracle Answers. As you see in the Oracle Answers, it's a very small screen, but what it's done is it's divided the screen into two portions. One is the left side where you have those different columns or attributes available for the dimensions and facts, and on the right side, on major portion of the screen, there is an example of some reports in a chart format and a signal kind of an odometer format, and you have also a table in the right top corner of there. So it gives a powerful ad hoc capability, people to slice and dice, reformat the data in the way they want. Oracle delivers, it's automated, it could be a delivering mechanism. One other use which Oracle delivers is used for as sometimes uses what they do is first let's talk about this at this point. Caching. They are also used for sometimes caching the data. So when a user creates a report in Answers, what is happening is all those attributes are sending up a SQL. There are two kinds of SQL. First of all, the logical SQL which is sent to the DRM layer, the application server, which is also passed back to the as a physical SQL to the database. Sorry. So what I'm saying is it's going to send a physical SQL to the database. It's going to take this route to the database, so the performance is going to return the results and go back to the user in the user interface. If another user comes to the scenario and creates the same report, if it goes again to the database and gets the results back to him, it's like a repetitive task, a redundant task. So what Oracle has done, they have created a feature called caching, that instead of going to the database, the results can be saved as a cache file and it could be given back to the user without even going to the database, helping performance. So delivers could be in a way used for that as well. You might want to create some cache reports that are very important reports which users want on a very frequent basis, on a very fast frequent result set. So you could see that. So what you could do is you can create a scheduled report which runs and stores in a cache place or a particular dashboard or any location for that matter. What it does, it just runs it once so that it's ready for the next time for actual users to come and get the results instantaneously. So that's very a good way to use also delivers in that aspect as well. We'll talk about that when we go in deeper sections of the caching, but just wanted to touch base one of other uses of Oracle delivers apart from. There are a couple of places we said that, so we'll talk about that. Yes, in the repository also, and there are some INI files which is used for that.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So regarding this Oracle delivers, so what does it mean? Like the reports are scheduled, and whenever the report is ready, so that the user will get notified using different kind of devices.
Yes. So Sridhar, just to repeat the question. So PJ is asking question. What is it? What is Oracle delivers doing? Is it going to notification in a different way, in different formats and stuff like that? So yes, that's the way it is. It can be set in different ways. So you can specify different target device where this application report, schedule report should go. It could be email, it could be mobile, it could be on a dashboard. The content, you could give the whole report set to the user, or you could give him a link to come back to the actual application and pick his data. So there are various ways you can configure that, but it's a very powerful scheduling and reporting tool. Okay. See, there any questions you have? Yeah. Okay, that's fine. So we'll move on. So this is kind of a different way of putting the architecture. It's more on the database side. So we have the information. This particular diagram is showing the data warehouse, the operation systems which have the today's information, and you have your inventory master database anywhere. So all this could be collated together into a powerful Oracle BI server, and it could show me across the board different things. Like show me the sales through the date at the highest value customer, assure sufficient inventory to fulfill this order. So this is just creating a business scenario. So you're checking different applications. So just to clarify out here, Oracle BI can work on top of transactional systems. So you can have real-time reporting as well. Or you can have navigation skills to go back and forth into transactional and OLAP applications. So this is a business scenario where user wants to see, okay, who is my top performing customer, the highest value that do I get from on a regular basis. So they check that information with the data warehouse, and they check for today's sales, how it is going on. So based on my inventory, which is another application, so I have an inventory which is being sold to many customers, but I want to make sure that this particular customer is treated well. So I want to have the inventory slot ready for him. So this is valuable information where somebody who has access to all these systems through the BI application could really take such a good decision. Otherwise, it might happen that you are delivering stuff. You might say that, yeah, the sales is going pretty well and people are being delivered whatever it is. So, 90% of the people are getting whatever they ask for. They are 10%, but the 10% remaining people may be your top customers. So that kind of analysis is missing if you just keep looking on the transactional data or any single silos kind of information. So that's a good example of thinking. It's good way to think what kind of different scenarios that you can use BI rather than just using as a reporting tool. That's a very good example right there. It kills the silos, so it's again mentioned the departmental analysis could be definitely done, but you want to think in a bigger picture, how can you connect information back and forth. And we'll take a few examples when you really go into the application and down the line, so coming back and forth and how these things can be done and how they can be also configured and used.
So Ravi, on the infrastructure, like usually for the data warehouse we will have the OBIEE, and the data warehouse built on the top of OBIEE. So if I see the picture, I can see data warehouse is a separate thing and OBIEE is separate and the inventory system is separate. So what kind of methodology Oracle BI follows?
Yeah, it's little different from what is compared. So just to repeat the question, so it's CJ is asking, like ODS usually in a business objects and this kind of world, they have data marts and ODS different kind of things. So how is the architecture in terms of Oracle BI? It's little different, frankly. So they do have so here is a little different. They have directly physical layer and their data universe built directly onto the physical layer. BI has a 3-level architecture. It has the physical layer, it has the logical layer. We'll talk about what exactly the logical layer is doing down the line sometime, and the presentation layer. So it's a 3-level architecture, but it doesn't have something like a data mart or ODS by itself. It defines its own logical layer in terms of within the same system. So it's part of the data warehouse. It's not like a separate ODS system like within data mart. So yeah, the architecture is a little different compared to that. Yeah. Okay, so this is an example where we are going through different applications in terms of the screens itself. So you can define guided navigation. So this is a report which is showing the sales, and it's giving us rough odometer kind of reporting, like green, yellow signaling kind of things, indicators for somebody to quickly glance on things. Now projected sales are going to be below the last year research possible. So this is kind of flag, it is alerted. What we are doing this right now is like Oracle is now, these features were there, but Oracle is now picturizing itself into a new world called operational BI. What it wants to do is, previously BI has been thought as a tool for analyzing your past data only. Just get analysis in the past data, understand it, and make some guesses of the future, or have some forecasting tool on top of that. What Oracle is pitching hard on right now is using operational BI. Use your past data, but fit it into your business process in such a way that you can take action for today itself without waiting for it to be too late to take real action. So this is an example. They're saying there is based on some workflow, there is an indication when you see in the screen, there is a small flag kind of thing and it's giving a message. So it is showing up this kind of a message. Deal acceleration dashboard. So this is a problem scenario. What could users do? So it takes you to the deal acceleration dashboard. Users could go and check different reports. What is my revenues by deal size? What are the different deal size I have? And where are things not working well, or where I can push a little more harder to get my sales. So it's giving an information like compared to what's happening in last year compared to this, and giving an opportunity right there to navigate into a different report and get more information. This is the typical dashboard to dashboard navigation. We're not going into some other application. We are still in Siebel Analytics or BIE only. But there are possibilities you can go back into other applications. Basically, you can go to transactional systems also, and you can configure other systems if you need web-based or something. So that's just a basic overview for the different components which we talked a little in the previous slides in short. We just wanted to talk in more detail in this particular session. I'm just trying to set up for the next part. Starting the recording.